Mike Levitt with the 8th of my 10-part Corrugated Kicks Cardboard Chuck Taylor tutorial series. If you're following through the previous 7 steps, by now you've got a tricked out, half-trimmed cardboard Chuck Taylor. But before we get to the last bits of grommets and laces and paint, we've got to address the gaping hole in the mouth of your shoe, which is the tongue. As previously warned, making a tongue for a cardboard shoe is not for the faint of heart. It really helps to acquaint yourself with my cardboard conditioning techniques by now, if you haven't already. Second to the toe body, this is the most complicated shaping per square inch piece for the whole shoe. Also, if you haven't already, you need to cut your tongue out now. Man, that sounds bad when I say it like that. Alright, you know what I mean. Find that curvy, fat, triple peanut looking blob in the middle of my templates and cut the shape out. Important details to take special note of in my templates are 2 sets of smiley shaped dotted lines dividing the tongue in 3 sections. These guide your folds. After cutting the tongue out, it's time to condition it. Now you need a wood or creasing tool of some kind to make some good folds. A wood tongue depressor, a popsicle stick, or a flat edge spatula can work for this. Use it to effectively draw lines where you want the cardboard to fold. Roll the tongue into a one long curve down the length, like it's a section of a round pipe. You can roll it and curve it over a table edge, or curve it over something cylindrical like a poster tube or a rolling pin. I have a handy little cross-section diagram for this in my book. You basically want to stair-step fold the upper, wider section of the tongue down into the middle section, then stair-step back up to the lower, smaller section where the tongue end glues underneath the toe body. Vigorously use your wood tool to draw and pre-crease the curved lines to fold across the tongue, as I'll try my best to describe here. It's 4 curved shaped folds across the tongue. One is toward the top where the top third of the tongue folds down. Just below that is the second fold where the middle section of the tongue folds back up. Then the third fold is just above the bottom toe section of the tongue where this bottom toe third folds back up again. And just below that is the last and fourth fold where the bottom toe third of the tongue folds back down again. After doing your best to fold the tongue forward and back across the 4 different creases that I've at least tried to outline, crease all of the folds down really tight. Then rebend the original curve you made down the length of the tongue. At this point, you should see how you can crease the 4 folds, rebend the curve, and also shape the 3 sections of the tongue into the form it needs to take to rest over the top of your foot in front of your ankle. Use your own foot and ankle for reference. We can still shape the tongue a little more after it's glued, so let's move on to dry fitting for gluing. Take your shaped tongue and reach it into the shoe to dry fit it in place. You want the front smaller toe end of the tongue to sit and glue under the toe body. Sometimes I have to shift the tongue forward and back a lot to position it right inside the shoe. Also, align it straight so the top of the tongue sits centered between the shoe body edges. Hold it in place where you want it. Draw a pencil line where you want it to glue. Take the tongue out and liberally apply glue to the bottom toe section where you want it glued. Liberally apply glue to the bottom inside of the toe body. Tip the shoe upside down to liberally apply glue inside the bottom of the toe body. Sometimes I use a stick or something like a tongue depressor to kind of spoon little bits of glue in there at a time. When your glue is almost tacky, push the tongue into the shoe and press the bottom toe section onto the bottom of the toe body. Put your hand on top of the toe and reach into the shoe to push up against it from the inside. You can also use wadded paper, like from a paper bag or a newspaper, to push up into the toe. This also helps hold the tongue in place while the glue sets. What do they say? If you made it this far, you're willing to go a little further? We're almost there. Next is the last bit of construction, then it's just down to the paint. So I will see you next in step 9, where we will do the grommets and laces. And let me know if you have any questions.